Hello, welcome. Whenever we look at someone's chart, especially from the perspective of nature, we observe the sun in the ascendant, dominant and reserved, bright from sun, less attractive due to Saturn. Regarding nature and looks, the sun brings brightness and good looks in contrast. Saturn in the ascendant implies reservation and less appeal, as Saturn doesn't enhance looks. Looking at Saturn, they might be reserved and less attractive. Saturn affects appearance. Sun or Venus in ascendant can improve looks because Saturn does not give good looks. But it can happen that someone has the Sun or Venus in their ascendant and they are not that good looking. Saturn ascends. Despite that, they are very good looking. What are the combinations that define someone's looks and give them good looks? Now, good looks and complexion are two different things. Which planets give a good complexion? And which zodiac signs and planets provide a good build or a lean figure? A good build isn't quick, no matter how much we try. By looking at the chart, we can tell what someone's complexion is like, whether it's light, dark, well built, lean, bulky, or cold. Let's talk about these combinations today and take some example charts. What someone's looks or appearance is like, or which constitution is defining their body. When we judge someone's personality or looks, what should we look at? First, a planet in the ascendant is crucial and most effective when near the ascendant degree. He makes the most impact, especially when it is very close to the degree of the ascendant. For example, if the degree of the ascendant is 5 degrees and the degree of the planet is 30 degrees, then it is not. Very close to the degree of the ascendant. Now it may seem that Venus is in the ascendant, but the impact of Venus in the ascendant is not very strong. So the looks, personality, nature, and traits of Venus don't come out that much in the native. So always check on the degree thing. So, first of all, who is expecting our ascendant? After that, where has the ascendant lord gone? With whom is it conjoined? In which zodiac sign is it? And who is expecting it? So, based on this, we are going to judge looks. Along with the ascendant, one should also pay attention to the second house because the second house tells us about our face, especially if there isn't much impact on the house lord, then the second house should definitely be looked at. Now, our parents are not just a mixture of planets and signs. For example, if we say that Saturn is not a planet that gives good looks, but it is sitting in the sign of Venus or Mercury, now the way they impact will be very different. Sattvic planets basically make someone attractive, giving good features, good looks, and beauty. For example, the Sun, being a Sattvic planet, can compact someone's personality in the ascendant, giving them confidence. One fiery parents cannot be ignored when looking at them. The Sun, collected in the ascendant only, indicates that the eyes will be hazel colored. One, the jawline is usually square shaped and the build is very good, but the hair is limited. Their reddish complexion is given by the Sun and also by Mars. Sun's looks will be like this when he comes to the wedding. The moon is a sattvic planet, influencing affection and good complexion. Their eyes are expressive. Moon influenced people may look better with age. Moon gives looks but lacks stability. One day nice, another less so. Mars gives a rugged look. Mars keeps parents youthful. Mars influenced are slim, not tall. Many people say that this girl didn't look like much in her youth or in college, but now after hitting 40 or 50, she looks much better. Or those who looked good in college no longer do. The good looks associated with the moon are given by the moon, but there is always a lack of stability in that. For example, if the moon influences the second house, one day they might look quite nice, and another day they might seem a bit scary. So, the moon does provide good looks and complexion, but it lacks stability. Mars gives a rugged look. Youthful parents who look youthful for a long time are influenced by Mars, or Mars is very well placed in their chart. Those who are influenced by Mars tend to be very slim, but their height is not great. The height is not great for both the Sun and Mars. The bottom edom, and there is a vibrant energy. So it goes both with fiery planets and fiery signs as well. Now, Mercury doesn't give a very good complexion, it gives a British complexion. The look will be medium, and the features can be a bit versatile, especially their arms and hands, the nerves will be very prominent. Now, those who have a heavier build can give a coplanar physique, but they give a very sweet voice and have a golden radiance. The rosy look on their face is given by the Sun and Mars, a yellowish complexion given by Jupiter, but a fair, clear skin along with the root. Now let's talk about our Venus. Venus is considered the king of good looks. But yes, the good looks of Venus are a bit enigmatic. Their aura is very seductive. They will have good hair, but the personality will be very charming, though they aren't that fair. Mercury and Venus both give youthful appearances. It may be possible that someone's complexion is not very fair, but she is very attractive. Those people influenced by Venus. There will be many people whose beauty is natural due to Jupiter and the moon, but they might not know how to show it. But those influenced by Venus may have average looks, but their presentation is very good, so they appear charming. Now about Saturn. But those influenced by Venus may have average looks, but their presentation is very good, which is why they appear charming. Now let's talk about Saturn. Saturn mostly gives tall height and thin physique. Teeth will be prominent and the nose will be big, which is considered typical for Saturn. They don't give a good complexion. They give curly hair. Now Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu are said to disturb looks a bit. There will be some disturbance in physical attributes where there is disfigurement, where it is not proportionate in the body. If there is an impact from good zodiac signs or good planets, then even a person can be good looking, but they might have a mole, scar, or cut on their face. How does science contribute to looks? The fire element signs provide charm and charisma. We said that Venus provides charm and has charisma. There is traction. Now, if the influence of Venus is sitting in the fire element signs, then that charm will become multifold. Earth element signs give a muscular look, where the body will be well framed when the bones are very strong. Earth element signs give us a well defined body. Air element signs usually give a good physique. I mean, they are tall and thin. Now, the water element signs are known to give obesity, and this is said very commonly. Jupiter influences bodies, especially in the water signs. Those people tend to be overweight. This is a rule about obesity. Today, we will also understand more rules. Now, beauty and complexion are two different things. Now, every planet has an element too. Since Mercury is an earth element, its function is related to smell. Prominent Mercury, and Mercury in the ascendant can have a very prominent nose. Jupiter is the element of space, and the function of space is to listen. So, people with strong Jupiter and Jupiter influence, their ears will be very big. The sun is beneath the sun. The work of the fire element is fire. If someone is meant to show direction and rise above, then their eyes will be very well defined and broad. The basic Pisces, water signs show the AO legs in body parts. These are the people who, when you talk about food in front of them, their mouths start watering. You can tell when they are hungry or if they like the food. So they are typically the basic Pisces types. Now, how will we judge whether someone will be obese or thin? Basically, if the ascendant lord is in a hostile or debilitated sign and is also afflicted, then that person's body may be somewhat disproportionate, becoming very thin or very obese. Fire and air elements, these signs, do not allow for quick weight gain. The tendency for weight gain is found in water signs and watery planets. The earth element signs give you a well built physique where the body is physically defined and solid. Anyone can be thin or fat. To my surprise, I read a rule that Saturn and Moon conjunction can lead to obesity. I thought Saturn air planets. We usually tell them that if they form a relationship with the ascendant, it will help reduce obesity. And when we talk about the moon's constitution, it is indeed a Kapha planet, but it has more air in it. Such a comparison, due to the conjunction of Kapha, their association and election can lead to problems because issues arise in this constitution. Now, Jupiter basically provides fat. Jupiter and water signs influence relationships. Venus leads to obesity. Weight changes fast. Percent of such people are told that they may become obese. Venus, as part of the Kapha constitution, leads to obesity. The Kapha constitution causes belly fat. People gain and lose weight fast. As the body is stagnant and stable, watch Mars, a key factor. If Mars is debilitated, afflicted, or weak, even in D9 chart, they don't work on their bodies and gain weight fast. Because the body is stagnant for a long time, watch Mars. If Mars is debilitated, afflicted, or weak, people don't work on their bodies and gain weight. If Venus is afflicted, they relax and ignore look. Laziness or overintelligence can lead to obesity. Even if they go to the D9 chart, those people also don't work much on their bodies and quickly put on weight. If Venus is afflicted, then they want to stay relaxed and don't care about looks, because Venus is the significator of beauty. So, due to laziness or overintelligence, obesity can occur, as we also need to find out the reasons for obesity. Now, when we say that fire element signs do not lead to obesity, we will exclude Sagittarius because it is the sign of Jupiter. So, if multiple planets are in Sagittarius, or if they go into Sagittarius in the D9 chart, and especially if there are water influence planets there, and if there is affliction in the ascendant, then it is also said, watch out for your diet. It won't be easy for you to put on weight or lose weight either, sooner or later. In fact, you will soon recover. So, what kind of placement is Mars in conjunction with other combinations, and how does Venus play into it? Now, 20 over can create problems. It gives a legging problem. Venus is the significator of beauty. It shows our genes. Venus is the lord of the ninth house, or along with the ninth house lord, it's coming into the selection and showing the reason for the problem. So, obesity can be genetic. And mentioned before, the moon adds to belly fat. The planetary positions show how someone's body constitution is formed, like the Sun and Mars. Fire element signs indicate the Pitta constitution, while Saturn and the Moon predominantly show the Vata constitution, especially Saturn completely influences the Moon, with two parts coming later, and one part being Kapha. Jupiter and Venus completely indicate the Kapha constitution. When we talk about constitution or dosha, we need to consider which sign is having an exact impact and what exactly is happening. You also need to add the traits of the signs, as we say, The fifth house is related to our digestion. So if there are fire element planets there, digestion will be very good. Talking about too much of anything is bad. If the Sun and Mars are placed in the fifth house in a fire sign, too much fire in the fifth house can lead to digestive issues. In fact, they might end up having problems like STD. So, how do we look at the strong influences? We look at it this way. This is about too much of something happening with too much of one element. If one type of element or one type of dosha is afflicting, then problems arise. Similarly, if the moon or Venus, which are water planets, are in the fifth house, they can indicate low digestion. For example, if the vata element is weak here, it also indicates low digestion problems. From this chart, we try to figure out what the natives' looks will be like. In the ascendant, there are Jap, Merk, and the Sun. Jupiter is very close to the ascendant. In a water sign, it's a significator planet and a sattvic planet. So the complexion should be good, and the looks should also be pure. The Sun is also there along with Mercury. So there should be a youthful appearance on the face. They won't look old or like a thief. The ascendant Lord is exalted in the third house, and it is also the significator of my body in an earth element sign. So the body should be well built and defined, and Venus is also very well placed. In my ascendant, if I had a sattvic sign as well, my looks would have been even better. The moon in the Bharani Nakshatra has a tweet that says these people generally have very good physical health, along with that exaltation and good placement of my ascendant, Lord. Venus is well placed, and in the second house, there is Rahu. Fire element signs can also mesmerize or work on someone. In a fire sign, whenever Jupiter is in the main ascendant, especially in a water sign, those people tend to be a bit on the heavier side. But in this case, what's happening is that Mars, which is the ascendant lord of the Kalpurush chart, is the significator. In this chart, the ruler is present. Because of its good placement, their body is very well defined and very good looking. This is Dharmendra's chart, who was known for his good looks in his time and is still recognized for them today. Talking about this chart, seeing Saturn and Ketu in the ascendant, the first thought that comes to mind is that they won't be good looking at all. Saturn and Ketu are in the ascendant. In Libra, the ascendant Lord Venus is in its own sign. In the 8th house, the moon and Jupiter are in aspect. Their complexion is very clear, but due to the excess of Rahu and Ketu, and because of Saturn, there are scars. Their face is spoiled by the good looks of June. Due to being in an air element sign and having the ascendant in the house, they are very tall and lean, with a fire element sign rising. In the ascendant Lord is in a fire element sign, exalted in the 9th house, but due to the excess of Rahu and Ketu in the 2nd house, the exalted Venus is definitely very good looking. Their features are very lovely. One glow, one charm. The face is affected by Rahu and Ketu, and the body is disproportionate. Saturn Moon combination is in their chart. The sharper and longer the lovely body, the more huge it is. The Saturn Moon combination I was talking about is in his chart. This is easy chart. Let's take another example where both the ascendant and the ascendant Lord are Venus and Sun, which are also from a fire element sign. They are good looking. Look at this chart. It's very interesting. The moon ascendant. The ascendant Lord of the air element sign is in the 9th house with the Sun, which is in its debilitation. But at least the moon will contribute to beauty, as it is a significator of beauty. Air element signs with fire impact show me that they should be tall and good looking. If I also catch that there are 2 planets in Sagittarius, but Mars is also there, and the water element is not functioning. Even in this D9, the moon is in Sagittarius. So I don't think there will be too much fat from anywhere. All right, the moon can give you obesity, but because it's in Saturn's sign, an air element sign, I will give credit to that. And I will also give credit to Saturn being exalted and moving into Venus's sign. Their complexion is very fair. Their face is very beautiful. The good looks that should be there because of Venus and the charm that should come from Saturn, all of that is present. But you noticed that the ninth lord and Venus are badly affected in the watery sign. Look, it's 0. And because of the Papakatari, their obesity is genetic. Everyone in their family is very overweight. In fact, they are very unhealthy because they are. So, it is not easy to judge anyone's appearance or looks, but I am sure these principles will at least take you very close to judge how this native would look like. The principle will definitely do this, especially the Saturn moon principle, which still makes me doubtful about why a Saturn moon would make someone overweight. If this shows up in the charts, please share it with me. Thank you so much.